Our progress report says we are at stage 3, paragraph page 172. 172. Okay, and our last headword was very much newer type of lesson. Okay, so let's
Yes.
start with our revision. Ready? Here we go.
Yes.
Do you live apart from your family? Do you live apart from your family? Yes or no?
Yes.
I
I
live
I
apart
live
from my
a-
family.
apart from my family.
Very good. Are you in that room together with other people? Are you in that room together with other people? No, I'm not in this
No,
room
I'm not in this
together with
room
other people.
together with
I'm
other
alone.
people. I'm alone.
What do you eat for your lunch apart from meat? What do you eat for your lunch apart from meat? I eat bread,
I eat
vegetables,
bread,
etc.
vegetables,
for my lunch
etc.
apart from
for
meat.
my lunch apart from meat.
Do you study anything apart from English? Do you study anything apart from English? Yes or no?
No,
I
I don't
don't study
study
anything apart from
anything
English.
apart from English.
Right? Apart from me, is anybody in this room sitting? Apart from me, is anybody in this room sitting? No. Apart from you,
No, apart from
nobody in
you
that
and
room is
nobody
sitting.
in that room is sitting.
Very good. Who lives in your flat apart from you? Who lives in your flat apart from you? Nobody lives in
And
my flat.
nobody lives
In my flat apart from me.
in
In my flat, like apartment. Hello? Hello?
hello.
Okay, so let's start again. One more. Nobody lives
Okay, nobody
in
lives
my flat apart
in
from
my
me.
flat apart from me.
Very good. Do you speak English better than Japanese? Do you speak English better than Japanese? No, I don't
No,
speak
I
English
don't speak
better than
English better
Japanese.
than
I speak
Japanese.
it worse
I speak it
than
worse
Japanese.
than Japanese.
Very good. Do you think Tokyo is a worse place to live in than the North Pole? Do you think Tokyo is a worse place to live in than the North Pole? No, I don't think
No,
Tokyo
I don't think
is
Tokyo
a
is
worse place
a worse
to live
place
in than
to
the
live
North
in
Pole.
than the North Pole.
I think it's a better
I
place
think it's a better
to live
place
in
to
than the
live
North
in
Pole.
than the North Pole.
Very good. Is Toyota a better car than a Rolls Royce? Is Toyota a better car than a Rolls Royce? No. A Toyota
No, the
isn't a better
Toyota
car
isn't a better
than a
car
Rolls
than a
Royce.
Rolls Royce.
It's a worse car
It's a worse
than a
car
Rolls
than a
Royce.
Rolls Royce.
Very good. Is the Cinema A a worse cinema than Cinema B? Is the Cinema A a worse cinema than Cinema B? No. The Cinema
No,
A
the cinema
isn't a
A
worse cinema
is a worse
than
cinema
Cinema
than
B.
the cinema
It's a
B.
better cinema
It's a better
than
cinema,
Cinema B.
the cinema B
Very good.
than
What?
the
Okay.
cinema A.
Very good. What do we use or when do we use capital letters? When do we use capital letters? We use capital
We
letters
use the
at the
capital
beginning
letters
of a
at the
sentence
beginning of a
for the
sentence
pronoun I
for the pronoun I
and for the first letter
and for the first
of
letter
people's names,
of the people's names,
place names,
place
days of
names,
the week,
days of the week,
months of the year,
or some months of the year,
nationalities, and languages.
nationalities, and languages.
Very good. Where do you think is the best place in your country to live? Where do you think is the best place in your country to live? I think
I think Kyoto is the best place
in my
to
country
live
to live.
in my country.
Very good. Which do you think is the worst day of the week? Which do you think is the worst day of the week? I think
I think Monday is the
i-
worst
day of the
uh,
week.
day of the week.
Very good. What was your best subject at school? What was your best subject at school?
History is the uh,
Was my
history
best
was
subject
my best
at
subject
school.
at school.
Very good. What was your worst subject at school? What was your worst subject at school?
Mathematics was
Was
a
my
worst
was
subject.
my worst subject at school.
Was my worst subject at school.
Very good. What kind of games do you like the best? What kind of games do you like the best? The kind of games. I
Like
like the
game
best
kind
are.
of games. I like best are tennis,
Very good. And basketball.
tennis and basketball.
Do children like playing games? Do children like playing games? Yes, children like
Yes,
playing
children
games.
like playing games.
Tell me the name of a card game. Tell me the name of a card game, please. The name of a
The
card
name of
game
a card
is
game
poker.
is poker.
Very good. Name me some games in which we use a ball. Name me some games in which we use a ball, please. Some games in
Some
which
games
we use
in
a
which
ball
we
are
use a ball
football,
are a
tennis,
football,
rugby,
tennis,
golf,
a rugby, golf,
basketball, etc.
and basketball, etc.
Very good. Okay, what's the difference between to look at and to watch? What's the difference between to look at and to watch? The difference between
The
to
difference
look at
between
and to
to
watch
look at and
is
to
that
watch
we use
is
to
that
look
we
at
use look
for
at
to look at
was to
to look at
but to look at
for something that is
for
still,
something that is still,
whilst we use to watch
whilst we use to
for
watch
something that is moving,
something is moving
that is moving.
that that is moving.
Very good. Okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm looking at your hand.
I'm looking at your hand.
What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm watching your hand.
I'm watching your hand.
Well, is it right to say I'm watching that picture? Is it right to say I'm watching that picture? No, it isn't
No,
right to
it
say
isn't right to say
you're
what
watching that picture.
you are watching at that
Why
picture
not? Why not? Because that picture's
because
still.
that picture's still.
What must I say instead? What must I say instead? You must say
You must
you're
say
looking at that
you're
picture
looking at
instead.
the picture instead.
Is it right to say we look at a game of football? Is it right to say we look at a game of football? No, it isn't
No,
right to
it
say
isn't right to
we
say
look at a game
we
of
look at
football.
a game of football
Why not? Why not? Because a game of
because
football
the game
moves.
of football moves.
Very good. What must we say instead? What must we say instead? We must say we
We must
watch
say
a game of
we
football
watch a
instead.
game of football instead.
Do you like watching television? Do you like watching television? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I like
like
watching
watching.
television.
Very good. Where do you buy your food? Where do you buy your food? I buy my food
I buy
from
my
a shop
food
near
from a
where I
shop
live.
meal where I live.
Can we buy apples at a shoe shop? Can we buy apples at a shoe shop? No, we can't buy
No,
apple
we can't
at
buy
a shoe
apple
shop.
at the shoe shop.
Very good. Do we use the gerund or the infinitive after a preposition? Do we use the gerund or the infinitive after a preposition? We use the gerund
We use
after a
gerund
preposition.
after a preposition.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. Before coming,
Before coming,
after taking,
after
for
taking,
buying, etc.
for buying, etc.
What is a gerund? What is a gerund? A gerund is a noun
A gerund is a
that
noun
we make by putting
we need
the
by
letters
putting
ing
the letters
at the
ing
end of a verb.
at the end of a verb.
Very good. Which do you think is the best shop in your town for buying women's clothes? Which do you think is the best shop in your town for buying women's clothes? I think,
I
let's see,
think Ion Mall
is
is
the
the
best
best
shop
shop
in my town for
in my
buying
town
women's clothes.
for buying women's clothes.
Very good. What do you do before coming to school each day? What do you do before coming to school each day? I eat breakfast,
I
speak
eat
to my
breakfast,
friends,
speak with
etc.
my friends,
before
etc.
coming to school each
Before
day.
we are coming to school each day.
Are you good at playing football? Are you good at playing football? Yes or no?
No, I'm not good
At
at
playing football.
playing
I'm bad
football.
at playing football.
I'm bad at playing football.
Very good. What's the difference between beside and besides? What's the difference between beside and besides? The difference between
The difference
beside
between
and besides
beside and
is
besides
that beside
is
means
that beside
next
means
to,
next to,
whereas besides
whereas
means
beside
apart from.
means apart from.
Very good. Give me an example of each. Give me an example of each, please. I am sitting beside
I am sitting beside
nobody.
nobody.
Very good. Mr. Brown speaks French. Mr. Brown
Mr. Brown
speaks French
speaks French
besides English.
beside English.
Very good. Who's sitting beside me? Who's sitting beside me? Nobody's
And
sitting
nobody is
beside you.
sitting beside you.
Is Paris beside the sea? Is Paris beside the sea? No, Paris
No,
isn't beside the
Paris
sea.
isn't beside the
It's
sea.
inland.
It's inland.
Very good. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're putting
You are
both your
putting your
hands
both your hands
on the table,
on the
one
table,
beside the other.
one beside the other.
Very good. What do you do in the evening besides watching television? What do you do in the evening besides watching television? I go for a walk.
I
I
go for a
read.
walk.
I
I
go to the
read.
cinema,
I go to the
etc.
cinema,
In the evening,
etc.
besides
In the
watching
evening,
television.
besides watching television.
How many floors are there in your building besides that one? How many floors are there in your building besides that one? There are
There are 10 floors
floors in this building
in this building
besides this one.
beside this one.
Very good. Okay. Have your parents got any more children besides you? Have your children got any more children besides you? Yes or no?
Yes,
My
my
parents
parents
have got
have got
some more
one
children.
children.
One more.
Some
Yes, my parents
yes, my
have
parents
got another child
have got another child
besides me.
beside besides me.
Very good. Do you like walking very much? Do you like walking very much? Yes or no?
No,
I don't
I
like
don't like walking
walking
very
very
much.
much. Do you like working very much? Do you like working very much? Yes or no?
Uh, no,
I
I
don't
don't
like
walking
working very
very.
much.
I don't like walking very much.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of our revision. Let's have new word. Very good. Okay, repeat.
Okay,
Another.
another.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word another is an adjective. For example, I have two watches. I have another watch besides this one. Okay, let's practice. Have you got another watch besides that one? Have you got another watch besides that one? Yes or no?
No, I
I
don't have
haven't. I
another.
haven't got another
I
watch
haven't got another watch
besides this one.
besides this one.
Very good. Have you got another shirt besides the one you're wearing now? Have you got another shirt besides the one you're wearing now? Yes, I've got
Yes,
another
I've
shirt
got another shirt
besides the one I'm wearing
besides
now.
the one I'm wearing now.
Very good. Next, repeat. Church,
Church,
temple,
temple,
mosque,
mosque,
synagogue,
synagogue,
synagogue.
synagogue.
Very good. Okay, listen. Church, temple, mosque, and synagogue are nouns. So Christians go to churches. Buddhists go to temples. Muslims go to mosques. And the Jews go to synagogues. Most people in my country go to church each week. Let's practice. Do most people in your country go to temples each week? Do most people in your country go to temples each week? Yes or no?
And no,
Most people in
most
my country
people in
don't
my
go to
country
temples each
don't
week.
go to temple each week.
Very good. Next, repeat. Enter.
Enter.
Very good. Okay, listen. Enter is a verb. For example, our lesson starts at 6:30 p.m. I generally enter the classroom at 6:30 p.m. for our lesson. Okay, let's practice. At what time do you generally enter the classroom for your lesson? At what time do you generally enter the classroom for your lesson? I generally enter the
I
classroom
generally
at
enter the
6:30
classroom
p.m.
at
for my lesson.
6:30 p.m. for my lesson.
Very good. Let's repeat. Air.
Ear.
Very good. Okay, listen. Air is a noun. For example, we can't see the air, but we can breathe air. Okay, let's practice. Can we see the air? Can we see the air? No, we can't
No,
see the
we
air.
can't see the air.
Very good. Next, repeat. Cover.
cover,
Very good. Okay, listen. Cover is a verb. For example, I'm covering my watch with my right hand. Our hair covers our heads. Let's practice. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're covering your
you are
watch
covering your
with your
watch
right hand.
or with your right hand.
Very good. Can you cover both your eyes with only one hand? Can you cover both your eyes with only one hand? Yes. I can
Yes,
cover
I can
both
cover
my eyes
both my
with
eyes
only one hand.
with only one hand.
What covers our heads? What covers our heads? Our hair covers our
Our
heads.
hair covers our heads.
Very good. Next, repeat. Snow.
Snow,
Very good. Okay, listen. The word snow can be used as a noun. For example, snow's white. So we're talking about the snow. It's a noun. The streets are covered with snow in winter. It's a noun. Snow can also be used as a verb. For example, it doesn't generally snow in the warm countries in the world, but it generally snows very little. Let's practice. What color snow? What color snow? Snow's white.
snows white.
Does it generally snow very much in the hot countries of the world? Does it generally snow very much in the hot countries in the world? No, it doesn't
No,
generally
it
snow
doesn't
very
generally
much
snow
in the hot
very
countries
much
of
in
the
the hot
world.
countries
It
of the
generally
world.
snows
It
very
generally
little.
snows very little.
Very good. Next, repeat weather.
Weather,
Very good. Okay, listen. The word weather is a noun. There are four kinds of weather: hot, warm, cool, and cold. For example, I like cool weather. Let's practice. What kind of weather do you prefer? Hot, warm, cool, or cold? What kind of weather do you prefer? Hot, warm, cool, or cold? I prefer
I prefer warm
warm weather.
warm weather.
Very good. What kind of weather are we having these days? What kind of weather are we having these days? We are having
We are having
weather these
hot
days.
weather these days.
Very good. Is British weather pleasant in winter? Is British weather pleasant in winter? No. British weather
No,
isn't
this
pleasant
weather
in winter.
isn't present in
It's
winter.
unpleasant.
It's unpleasant.
Very good. Next, repeat. Hold.
Cold,
One more. Hold.
hold,
Conversation.
conversation,
Simple.
simple,
Complicated.
complicating.
Very good. Okay, listen. Hold is a verb. It generally means to have. For example, I have my pen in my right hand when I write. Or we can say, I hold my pen in my right hand when I write. Conversation is a noun. For example, we are speaking to each other now. We are having a conversation now. We are holding a conversation now. Simple is an adjective. It means easy. Complicated is the opposite of simple. For example, I can't hold a simple conversation in English. I can have a simple conversation in English. Let's practice. Okay. What am I holding in my left hand? What am I holding in my left hand? You're holding a
You
pen
are holding a
in
pen
your left hand.
in your left hand.
Where which hand do you hold your pen in when you write? Which hand do you hold your pen in when you write? I hold my pen
I hold my pen
in my
in
right
my
hand
right hand
when I write.
when I write.
Can you hold a complicated conversation in English? Can you hold a complicated conversation in English? No, I can't hold
No, I
a
can't hold
complicated
a
conversation
complicated
in English.
conversation in
I
English.
can hold a simple
I can
conversation
hold a
in
simple
English.
conversation in English.
Very good. About how many matches does a matchbox generally hold? About how many matches does a matchbox generally hold? A matchbox
A
generally holds
matchbox
about
generally hold
how many?
uh, about 100
100
matches.
matches. Very good.
Uh,
About
100 matches.
how long can you hold your hand above your head for? About how long can you hold your hand above your head for? I can hold my hand
I can't hold my
above my
hand
head
above
for
my
about
head. About
How long? 5 minutes.
Uh, well, what about 1 minute?
1 minute. No S. 1 minute.
1 minute.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading.
Okay.
Okay, very good. So our reading is at stage 2, paragraph page 107. Last headword was infinitive.
Okay.
107, infinitive. Okay, so let's start at headword auxiliary verb. Do.
Okay. Aux- Auxiliary verb. Which word is auxiliary verb in this sentence? They can open the window. The word can is the auxiliary verb in that sentence. Which word is the auxiliary verb is in this sentence? Do they walk to school? They word, the word do is the auxiliary verb in that sentence. What does the verb to do mean? The verb to do means すること in Japanese.
Mhm.
What am I doing? You are going out of the room. What do you do? What do I do after the lesson? You go out. You go out of the lesson after the lesson. Out. What am I doing? You are sitting down. And what do you do before the lesson? I sit. I sit down before the lesson. What am I doing? You are standing up. What do you do after the lesson? I stand up after the lesson. The most of these three books with of
Of
these
these
three
three
books,
books,
which book has the most pages? Of these three books, this book has the most pages. Which city in this country has the most people? Tokyo is a city in this country which has the most people.
mhm,
Which person in your family read the most books? My mother is the person in my family who read the most books. Which school in this town has the most students? ABC school is the school in this town which has the most students.
very good.
Beautiful, handsome, ugly. Do you think Paris is an ugly? Do you think Paris is an ugly city? No, I don't think Paris is an ugly city. I think it's a beautiful city. Do you
Do you think hell?
do you think hell is a beautiful place? No, I don't think hell is a beautiful place. I think it's an ugly place.
Mhm.
Do you
Do you
uh,
think
do
Brad
you
Pitt?
think Brad,
Brad
Brad Pitt is
Pitt is
ugly?
ugly?
No, I don't think Brad Pitt is ugly. I think he's handsome.
Mhm.
Which do you think the most beautiful place in this country? I think Kyoto is the most beautiful place in this country.
Very good.
Eat. What am I doing? You are eating. Do you eat all food? No, I don't eat all food. Some I eat and some I don't eat. Do you eat bread without butter? No, I eat.
No,
Yes,
I
I
don't
eat bread without.
butter.
No, I don't eat bread without butter.
Okay.
Uh, what what do what do we
Eat with.
eat with? We eat with our mouths.
Mhm.
Drink, water, wine, milk. What am I doing? You're drinking. Do you drink tea? Yes, I drink tea.